So, good afternoon, Daphna Levy. You are a Levy. If I understand correctly, this is the noble tribe dedicated to the other tribes of Israel, correct? This fact.
Hello, everyone.
this, this fact,
I am a Levy.
You are a Levy. This fact only probably influenced you until today, if I remember one of our conversation. I understood as well that you're coming from a lineage of cantors. Do you mind to share more with us about you and their impact on your music?
Yes, so that's true. My family from my father's side goes back to the Levites, who were actually the musicians, the ones in charge of music ritual in the days of the temple. And from the other side, from my mom's side of the family, we've heard that my ancestors were indeed cantors. Now, I never actually got to meet any of those people in person, but I do have a very strong feeling that it's just part of my genetics.
And where were they from, these cantors?
The cantors from Latvia, Riga, Latvia.
Riga, Latvia. And do you...
The Levies were from Baku, Azerbaijan, but I never got to meet any of my grandfathers. But it's, it's still there.
How would you describe this influence within your music today? Is it just feelings, or you think there's something in the voice or on the way to compose music?
I really feel it all over. And during this, during the lockdown period, I had a lot of time to just, I spent a lot of time at home. So I did quite a bit of composing, writing lyrics, arranging, and things came out, these rhythms and odd meters just came to me all of a sudden that I really wasn't expecting. And melodies were somehow created that really, resemble Jewish, Hasidic themes on the one hand, and then like I'd say ethnic music from that I probably got from the Azerbaijan side, but it really took me by surprise, the whole thing. I wasn't expecting it, but I'm really excited about it. One of the songs that I prepared for today's session is one of those new songs that are really this new ethno thing that has been happening to me.
Okay, great. So we're going to enjoy it for sure. So you are a composer, you're an arranger, you're a vocal jazz educator. And I was personally fascinated by the fact you had a degree in Far Eastern philosophy. And you even said jazz is a kind of Tao. I'm not going to ask you to talk about jazz now. We have the marvelous Ruth Fisher, who's an expert. But I personally need to know more about this journey and how do we end doing a degree like this. Can you tell us more about basically this approach of philosophy that you had or you have?
Yeah, so it's true. I've studied quite a bit of philosophy, majoring in Far Eastern philosophy. And the thing about jazz, when I compare it to the Tao, the route that's created while you're walking it, is, I guess, just a lot of freedom. It's about agreeing to be in uncertainty, not knowing what's coming next, and just creating it moment by moment. Jazz to me is a lot of personal freedom. And I also, I truly believe in codependency. And I believe that music is a form of connecting with people strongly, deeply.
Okay. You mentioned that one of the songs would be maybe reflecting some of these origins. Is it the first song you would like to propose us, or the second one?
Yes, I'd love to play the first song, Shema Israel. It's a song that I wrote and composed, inspired by an ancient Jewish prayer, Hero Israel.
Yeah.
And we will have here
Hello,
Tamir
hello.
Miller.
Hello, welcome.
Can you see Tamir?
Yes.
Tamir will be playing with me. He is the pianist with my band, Daphna and the Classic Cats. And yeah, so Shema Israel is our first tune for today.
So we are in a session called Kushame, which means listen to me in our local language here in Gibraltar. And this is all about music with the Daphna Levy, the jazz singer. And thank you, Tamir, to be here with us. It's an honor to have you as well. So please, it's all yours.
הערב הוא רוגע ודומם, רק רחש רוח בין האורנים, לפתע איזה רגש מטלטל את הנשמה כך מבפנים, וכל מן העבר עולה בי, ומשהו נענה בי, כל מן העבר קורה לי, ומשהו משתנה בי, סופו של סופי חרישית מתפלל. שמע ישראל, שמע ישראל. הלילה חשכה על פני הגן, רק נר דולק בשקט מהבהב, לפתע רוח של ניגון ישן, וטרי מרהיב בתוך הלב, וכל מן העבר עולה בי, ומשהו נענה בי, כל מן העבר קורה לי, ומשהו משתנה בי, סופו של סופי חרישית מתפלל. שמע ישראל, שמע ישראל. מן העבר נביא, ומה שהונע נביא, כל מן העבר קורה לי, ומה שהוא משתנה, וכל מן העבר עולה בי, ומה שהוא נענה בי, כל מן העבר קורה לי, ומה שהוא משתנה בי, כששרו של סבי חמישית מתפלל. שמע ישראל, שמע ישראל, שמע ישראל.
Wonderful. Shema Israel. What a nice song and a nice voice. My little baby of 3 years old is now singing Shema Israel. So I think I'm going to give him your melody as well. So
thank you. I really want to thank you, Jan, and thank you, Ruth, for giving me this opportunity, you know, to hold this interview. And
to connect, like you said, philosophically speaking.
To connect. It's really moving, you know. It's really very moving to me. Being able to connect with music people and with people who love music all over the world like this. I mean, this is a time when we are not able to perform internationally. On the one hand, we can't go anywhere, and you know, a lot of concert dates that I was supposed to have, my band was supposed to have worldwide, were either canceled or postponed. But on the other hand, we have this opportunity to now meet people and connect with people from all over the world all at once, live. So that's really a great thing.
Something positive that's come out of something quite difficult. Yeah.
Oh, thanks to you.
And also, I just want to say hi to all, you know, everyone who's joined us. I see some great friends, great musicians among them, family members. Thank you everyone for being with us on this session.
No, thanks to you. With Ruth, a few years ago, we promised, without knowing each other, that we will make the world very small. Here we are.
Very small. Definitely through music as well.
I will let you start, Ruth. I promised you, Daphna, she's going to grill you on jazz. So
no, I'm not.
Here you are. It's a privilege to have this wonderful woman from Jazz FM, and not only from Jazz FM, asking the questions. Ruth, please.
Well, actually, Daphna, I wanted to ask you about that arrangement just there of Shema Yisrael. Was that your own arrangement? Because I thought I recognized a certain classical piece of music, a riff there that Tamir was playing, and I can't put my finger on it. But
yeah, so what we do at our band, Daphna and the Classic Cats, it's really an eclectic approach to music. We just try to weave together different types of music that we all love, regardless of genre or beyond genre boundaries. And so, yes, in this particular case, we used Chopin.
I thought it was Chopin, yeah.
A Chopin waltz.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's really, what we do is really jazz combined with classical music, with Jewish Israeli music, world music.
Yeah. And something that you mentioned earlier on when talking with Jan was that you said that during this pandemic, you've reached inside and you've found other voices. And I'm hearing that a lot from musicians that I'm talking to, that this period, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but they've had to sort of step back and they're not touring and they're not, sorting out how they're going to get from one place to another, and that they're reaching inside and becoming even more creative than they were in the past. Have you found that as well?
I guess, I mean, I haven't really, put it into words that way, but now that you put it that way, I guess that's the process that I've been going through. I haven't been able to even leave the house, for a long time. And we weren't rehearsing with the band. I was missing that a lot. So yeah, I guess a new type of creativity somehow came up. It's really interesting. This whole, coronavirus crisis is really, I mean, it's scary, and it's causing so much uncertainty for everyone internationally. But at the same time, it seems to be opening up new opportunities, new points of view.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see a very exciting aspect of it as well.
Interestingly enough, I was just on another conference in jazz. It's called with Rotterdam. It's based in Rotterdam, and we were talking about the pandemic and going forward with Brexit and all that sort of thing. And one of the panelists mentioned that actually this is almost like a carbon-free period for musicians. We've all been talking about how we need to look after the planet, and here we are doing everything now digitally, and maybe this is going to be the way going forward.
Yeah, it seems that, I mean, certainly things are now changing. It's too early to even really determine how, in what ways, but everything is changing. And yeah, so I believe the new formats are coming up already and will continue to come up for live entertainment, for culture in general.
Yeah, definitely. Well, going back to you though, I was quite fascinated to hear to learn that you actually began your career or your musical life as a classical musician on the double bass, the upright bass. Are you still playing that? It's a great instrument.
No, no, I don't play it anymore. It is a great instrument. It's really hard though. It was my instrument back in high school during my teen years. And there's this funny story that I always tell on all Classic Cats concerts about my upright bass. So yes, I played for several years, and I played in orchestras, and I went to a high school of arts, majoring in music, and my private teacher was a renowned bass player from the Israeli Philharmonic. His name was Teddy. And so after studying with Teddy for a few years and playing, and I was really into the bass because it's such a cool instrument, both for classical music and jazz.
Yeah.
And so one day I came up to my teacher and I asked him, how do you see my future as an upright bass player? And Teddy answered my question, and I've been a singer ever since.
I guess that was
there you go.
True Israeli forthright opinion there. So when did you switch from classical to jazz, and why? What was it that just made you want to go over to the jazz side of things?
Oh, I never really became a classical musician or an upright bass player, as you can comprehend. But I did, my musical upbringing was basically classical. So I have a lot of that background still, influencing me today. And I truly love classical music, the romantic era in particular. So it's a great influence.
Now you,
And
sorry.
jazz was actually, I'm sorry, jazz was there all along. I grew up in a home where with two older siblings who would listen to jazz, and it obviously appealed to me. So it was something that I remember ever since I was a little girl.
Yeah,
And,
well, there is a vibrant jazz scene.
At a very young age, I just knew I wanted to become a jazz singer.
Now, you released an album in 2016 featuring the great Lou Tabakin. Are you working on a new one now? It's a couple of years.
That's right. Well, it was. I must say that it was immensely exciting to work on that album, Late Night Journey, with Lou Tabakin in New York. He is a great jazz musician and a really nice person. And now, yes, we've been working with the Classic Cats. We've been working on an album that will be released soon, hopefully.
Hopefully. You might have to do a gig online. Are there, I noticed in the United States and also here in the UK that some clubs are now opening up and the musicians are playing to an empty audience, but they're streaming their gigs live. Maybe that's one way you're going to be able to do your CD release launch party.
Yeah, either that or, well, who knows? Maybe by that time things will open up more.
Yeah,
and we'll be able to perform in front of a live audience.
Yeah,
in the venue.
I think it's going to be a while yet, unfortunately, but
yeah,
so
it probably will.
I have one final question for you before we're going to hear another song from you. And if there was one musician that you could perform with who is either living or who's no longer with us, who would it be and why?
Wow. You got me there.
Well, it cannot be me, so it's fine. You have no choice now.
Can I pick two?
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I have one, but who'll always be with me, and that's David Bowie.
Yeah.
Who to me is the symbol of personal freedom, of endless creativity. He was actually I call him the poet of rock and roll. So yes, I would love so much to meet Bowie and collaborate with him if I could.
And he used a lot of jazz musicians on his albums.
Yes, he loved jazz.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's a living American who's very much alive, in fact, Quincy Jones, who's a huge idol, So maybe, hey, yes, I would love so much to collaborate with Quincy Jones.
Yeah, he's an absolute legend,
And he's become a huge producer, but he's first and foremost he's a jazz musician.
True, and an awesome arranger, superb arranger,
big band arranger,
big band. Yeah. Incredible musician, and only in his 80s and still youthful with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to perform another song for us. Tell us which it is. Okay,
so this is a new song. I have to admit that I don't even have the lyrics by heart yet. So I'm going to peep every once in a while. But I really love this one. It's called Tiberius Blues. The side of my family, that's the Saber side, the side that has been in Israel for many, many generations was from Tiberias.
Right.
So yeah, this is yeah, it's really, you know, it's strange how it's all of a sudden not trying, you know, to bring it about, not even expecting it. All of a sudden I feel this connection with my ancestors.
We're going to hear it first here on Kushame.
That's right. Very first performance with Tamir Miller. I'm just gonna put on my cajon. How do you pronounce that? Is that cajon?
Cajon.
Jan.
Exactly like you did.
Yeah. Let's go.
Daffodils and chickies in the buckets of merchants in the main alley downtown. People crowding by the Blackstone dwellings and children running all around uptown. Olives growing by the Sea of Galilee, monasteries, synagogues downtown. People crowding by the Blackstone dwellings and children running all around uptown. Daffodils and chickies in the buckets of merchants in the main alley downtown. Downtown. Uptown. Downtown. Coming like a fresh new breeze, the Tiberias blues. Lasting for 1,000 years, the Tiberias blues. Sweet away. Coming like a fresh new breeze, the Tiberias blues. Lasting for 1,000 years, the Tiberias blues. Daffodils and chickies in the buckets of merchants in the main alley downtown. People crowding by the Blackstone dwellings and children riding all around uptown. Olives growing by the Sea of Galilee, monasteries, synagogues downtown. People crowding by the Blackstone dwellings and children riding all around downtown. Daffodils and chickies in the buckets of merchants in the main alley downtown.
The Femard.
Bravo. Okay, you know, this is already the end. It's a very short 30 minutes, but well, we didn't feel it. It was very, very quick. Thank you so much. It was Kushame. I have one favor, although, because I heard somewhere in one of the video, you were singing
Right.
This reminds me.
Tune.
I don't know if you can make listen half a minute of this. It was it from Jonathan Geffen?
No, Jonathan Geffen is actually a lyricist. This is a composition by Yitzhak Klepter. They used to work together. They would collaborate a lot.
It reminded me when I was a student and I was painting walls of a studio to make some money. Long time ago, and I don't know how I got the tape, and this was coming all the time and all the time and all the time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful melody. It's called Picture, Tmuna.
Okay.
You think we could do that?
I can try.
1, 2, 3. Da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba, ba-da-da-do-do-day, tweet-day, weed-day, ba-do-do-do-da, do-do-do, ba-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-day, da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-do-da, ba-do-do-day, ba-da-ba-da-da-da, tweet-day-da, 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 tweet-day, Saturday, tweet-day-da, ba-do-do-day, Saturday, I fly,
Thank you so much. So nice. Thank you so much, Daphna Levy. Thank you, Ruth Fisher. It was Kushame with Daphna Levy. And well, I hope we'll meet at some point in Gibraltar, in Israel or elsewhere.
I'm sure we will. Thank you so much. It's really been an honor, you know, taking part in this series produced by the Gibraltar World Music Festival. And yes, I'm looking forward to meeting you, Jan, you, Ruth Fisher, maybe in the UK.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get over this pandemic. We can all meet.
We're represented, Daphna and the Classic Cats are represented by Dominic Riley, actually.
In Ireland.
Who's in Ireland. He's in Dublin. Yes, Teddy D Promotions. So I believe there's a good chance that we will somehow meet soon.
Okay, very nice.
Hope so.
We cannot wait. Thank you so much. It was nice to have you. And let's keep in touch, as we say here. So it was Kushame. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.